Welcome back, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Dustin Ribellini, and before we get into our second segment talking NFC, don't forget to tune in Thursday night at 8 p.m. for the YCN Game of the Week, and this week the Merrimack Valley Boys travel up to Hanover in a matchup of Division II teams, so that'll be Thursday night at 8 p.m. All right, Dustin, we get into the NFC. Matt Ryan, obviously, he has continued this run that he's on, the weapons that he has, but the defense, well, going back to that the Green Bay game, the defense stepping up really well, too. A real team effort this week.
Yeah, it really was. The Falcons were hitting on all cylinders, special teams, offense, defense. Let's talk about the offense first. This offense has so many weapons. We were talking last week, this is not just a Julio Jones and nobody else show. Right. Their running backs are playing well. Matt Ryan spreading the ball around, 27 for 38 last week for 4 touchdowns, 390 yards, and he ran a touchdown.
Right, he ran one in.
So, I mean, he did it all, 5 total touchdowns. I think they said this year he threw a touchdown to like 12 or 13 different receivers, which led the league. So this team's really rolling right now, and on defense, like you said, they really pressured Rodgers. They got a lot of hits on him early. You could see from the kickoff, Green Bay was not in a comfort zone.
Yeah, and Green Bay obviously had some tough luck and tough breaks. I don't want to say luck, but they missed the field goal right off the bat. That set them back, and then they're driving. I think the fumble occurred inside the 5-yard line. The line of scrimmage was a little bit farther back. The running back fumbles into the end zone. And that was just huge because that could have been 10-10 really right there without asking a lot if they get the field goal and get the touchdown on the fumble. And instead, it's 17-0. And that kind of sets that team in a hole. And that's one thing with Matt Ryan is you can't give them extra chances, and you have to go score for score because this offense just does not quit, as you mentioned. And let's get into Matt Ryan. I don't want to overstate it because there's only been a few games. It's been a great season, MVP caliber season. But where does he now rank in echelons of quarterbacks? Is it a tier, first tier, second tier? You don't have to give me what number he ranks at, or are we putting the cart before the horse here and saying, let's wait, see if we can do it again?
Quarterbacks today?
Right now.
Right now, active in the NFL?
What tier? You got Brady, you probably got Rodgers. Is he sneaking up there? A lot of people thought Newton was doing the same thing before he regressed this year.
I think Matt Ryan's just a step below those guys. I think if you say right now in the NFL, who are the best quarterbacks, you lead off with Brady, Rodgers, Breeze, and I'd say Matt Ryan's just below them. Now he's got a chance to get into that conversation if he wins the Super Bowl. Like you said, he's probably going to win the MVP, but like with Cam Newton, we got to see a little bit more. He's had a good career up till this point, but it was kind of questioned till this year. Let's see him do it this year and then back it up with another solid year next year.
Right, because in previous years, he has been good quarterback. He's thrown more touchdowns than interceptions, I think, every year of his career.
But he's never had the deep run.
Right, he's never had, and he's never been exceptional. He's thrown 26 touchdown passes, 17 interceptions. That's not great. This year, turning it around, and he's done what he needs to do. And obviously, Kyle Shanahan, his offensive coordinator, probably
who may not be there much longer.
Right. So does that have an effect on him?
That will have an effect on him. Like I said, let's see what he comes back with next year. If he gets the Falcons back to the 1 seed in the NFC or the 2 seed, and they get to the NFC Championship game again, now he gets talked about.
And another big season, 25 touchdown passes, 30 touchdown passes. Okay, going into the Super Bowl, and like I said, we'll preview more of the Super Bowl next week, but quickly, Dan Quinn, the head coach of the Falcons, former defensive coordinator of the Seahawks, when they played the Patriots, was the year he was in the Super Bowl. Does that experience, either from an off-the-field level or on-the-field level, help him and the team prepare for this team that they're going to face?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe there are some little subtleties he can pick up on with the Patriots, but overall I don't think it helps him a lot just because teams change from year to year. The Patriots team that was in the Super Bowl a couple of years last year, they didn't have Hogan, they didn't have Mitchell.
Right.
They had Gronkowski and they don't have Gronkowski. So there's a couple things different about the team. Maybe some subtleties, but in the end I don't think if the Falcons win, it's not going to be because Dan Quinn had a great game plan to stop the Patriots. It's just the Falcons played better.
Right. Okay, now we talked about the Steelers and how they have to regroup and what can they do in the future. Let's talk about the Packers. Is their window closing? I mean, Rodgers probably still has, I think, 3 good years left with him. McCarthy, you've got Jordy Nelson, who's young, Devontae Adams. They've got some talent, but it just seems like they need to do something soon. Still a successful franchise, but it is closing a little bit.
It's closing very fast on the Packers. The thing with the Packers, they have no room for error. We saw them run out of gas because they had so many injuries. They have to get depth on this team. If they can draft some depth, maybe trade for some depth or sign some depth, they'll be good. But right now, you said Aaron Rodgers. He said, we got to get more than just what we have. Right. Because any injury, this team really has nothing left.
And the biggest thing, they need to figure out a running back situation. Yes. Obviously, Eddie Lacy was up and down in his time. Ty Montgomery did a great job, but I don't think you'll see him transfer.
Right, but they had nobody else.
Right, so do they go out and sign somebody, or go somebody young.
They do have to do something.
Yeah, so
they simply ran out of gas.
Right, exactly.
They had nothing left in the tank.
And the injuries on the defensive side certainly don't help. So it's going to be an exciting matchup. Falcons and Patriots. We'll preview that next week when we come back. And this week we will come back with the second half of the Prescription Playbook sponsored by Valley Regional Hospital. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.